Hi students, welcome to second year commerce class. We are in internal trade. In our previous class, we have discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of two large scale retail shops, departmental stores and multiple shops. We have learnt that departmental stores were located in the heart of the city. They provide wide variety of goods, whereas multiple shops are located at different parts of the town or city. They offer only few varieties of goods, particularly in single line, maybe textiles or mobiles. Example I have given like Raymond's or Digijam's, previously Nokia showrooms, like that. Okay. In this class, we are going to discuss about advantages and disadvantages of mail order retail trade and consumer cooperative stores. What is the necessity of learning the advantages and disadvantages is, as I told you many times, when you learn this concept, second year concept, and you venture into any business or you become the part of a organization, you should use this knowledge. In what way they are helpful for your business development or for your career development. So mail order retail trade. What do you mean by that? What is mail order retail trade? It is not popular nowadays, but in the past it was popular. Nowadays this is taken over by e-commerce and various internet online websites have taken over this mail order retail trade. What is mail order retail trade? Retail trade means you know very well. That is buying goods from a wholesaler or from a producer in large quantities and selling it to the customers in the required quantities is a retail trade. And what is mail order? Mail order retail trade means it is a simple process of communicating to the prospective buyers about our product, about our goods. That means we inform various individuals who are likely to buy our product. Prospective buyers means who have got interest in our product and who can use our product. So they will mail us. That means the retail trader will mail the customer. So if the customer like the product, he will place the order. So we will deliver the goods at the place of customer. That is called mail order retail trade. See, I am a commerce lecturer. So, some publisher might have printed commerce textbooks or accountancy textbooks. Somehow he got my number or my mail ID. So, what he can do is, he can mail me a copy of the textbook and asking me to advise the students to buy that publications. So if I go through the textbook and I see that if it is worth and useful to my students, so I will advise my students and I will place order for some 30 or 40 copies of the textbook to that publications. Got it? Some manufacturer or some retailer is trading in these markers. So what he will do? He will collect the phone numbers or mail IDs of different lecturers who can use these markers, and he will send the message through any social media or email or through telephone message, as you get everyday messages. So if we wish, we place the order. Nowadays you can see every student, even individually, parents, you get so many messages from various business organizations, banks, or say e-commerce business units. So what do they say? To get the credit card or to get the personal loan, click the below link. You need not go to that shop or bank. So simply fulfill the formalities in the form given in the digital manner. The mobile itself furnish your details. So a debit card or credit card is generated on your name and you can use it. You can buy the things. That's how the services are provided nowadays. So it is a smart world. So here also, before much development of internet trade, e-commerce, this mail order retail trade was very much popular. So it is a business where the retailer will send, try to understand the definition. Under mail order retail trade, the retail trader will send a mail to the prospective buyers. So if the buyer is willing to buy your product, he will place the order for certain number of units. So according to the orders, you will dispatch the goods and you will collect the amount. Okay, according to the agreement, whether it is credit basis or cash basis, or some duration of time is given for supply of goods and cash collection. Okay, so that is how the mail order retail trade business goes on. Clear? So, what are the advantages of mail order retail trade? First one, the capital required is relatively less because you don't require much establishment. Like you don't require a large go down, more number of employees are not required. You don't require any setup like a big building, computers, furniture, etc. are not required. Simply goods are produced by someone and the goods are in a go down of wholesaler. So simply what you do is you collect the orders from customers and simply you transfer those orders to the wholesaler. So ultimately goods will be dispatched from the wholesaler go down to customer. So simply you are acting as agent. So you are collecting the orders. Like see, I am selling the textbooks. Suppose if I am a retailer doing business on mail order, I will send mails to all my students regarding my textbook or some commerce textbook. So all the students will give me the reply. Sir, I want one textbook, someone wants two textbooks, like that. Different orders I will collect. And this compiled order and your addresses I will transfer to the publications. So from publications directly the books will reach the students' home. So I need not have any infrastructure, storage facility. I don't require any setup like employees, furniture, computer, etc. are not required. So that is the reason with minimum capital I can carry out my business units, my business activities. Second one is there is convenience both in buying and selling. Very simple. Convenience means according to your requirement. If you are capable and you are willing, you will order, otherwise you will not order. Similarly, selling also. If the customer is asking, you will sell the required number of units. Means according to the requirement of customers, the goods will flow in the market. No one is forced to buy or sell. Okay, there is no compulsion. And while convenience means what? According to our wish, according to our flexibility. The number of units what we have to buy, the brand what we have to select, it is up to us. So the customer has got a wide option of selecting the goods, quantity also, time of delivery, payment. All this can be done according to the convenience of the customers, and seller also. According to his convenience, he will give the commitment. For example, today you order and tomorrow you say that I want product, means not like that. So the retailer will think out whether it can be delivered or not. Accordingly, he will take the reasonable time. So like that, both the buyer and seller will have convenience. Next, third point, actually you should read this one. Operating costs are less. The other day we were discussing. What do you mean by operating costs? The expenditure required to maintain your day-to-day business is called as operating cost. Like the rent for your premises, employee salaries, electricity bill, internet bill, all the maintenance costs, stationery, okay, are called as operating costs. So since your establishment is very simple, okay, you do not have much employees, you are not taking the responsibility of storing or manufacturing, so naturally your operating costs are very less. So because your operating costs are very less, goods are reasonably priced. Okay, that is the reason you can see nowadays goods are less priced in online than offline, because in offline maintenance cost, operating costs are more. So any mobile or something, if you go to shop, physical offline mode, the mobile may be 10,000 rupees, but online it may be available only for 9,500. You will get 500 rupees discount if you buy on debit card or say through various online websites, because in the online mode operating costs are less. Similarly, in mail order retail business also, since operating costs are very less, goods are reasonably priced, means at low price we will be able to get the product. Then middlemen are eliminated, means there are no distributors, wholesalers, etc. So there is a directly link between the retailer and the customer. Retailer from the producer, he will buy the goods and will deliver the goods to customers. So many people are not involved in the chain of distribution. As the other day I told you, if the number of parties increase between the producer and consumer, the complications will increase and price of the product will increase, because everyone work for their margin of profit. So naturally, by having mail order retail trade, middlemen are eliminated. So these are the advantages. Disadvantages: it is very difficult to convince the buyer, as the buyer will be able to check the goods only after buying the goods. This is the problem. Most of the customers are not satisfied by virtual display of the product. Means we require physical perception of the commodity. Suppose if I want to buy the product, if this is seen on a mobile screen or computer screen, I may have doubt that how the marker works. So if it is physically, it is in my hands, so I can check how it is writing, what are its features, weight, etc. I can check, and whether it is comfortable for me or not, I can verify and buy the product. So during this, in mail order retail trade, it is not possible for the buyer to physically inspect the commodity. So sometimes they are not satisfied and they are not willing to buy the product. Next, they lack efficient management. What do you mean by efficient management? Like having expert knowledge in the various fields of distribution of goods and services. Like you do not have proper marketing force, marketing manager, sales managers. Okay, decision making is not good, planning. So if you have all these things, you can survive in the competitive market. But unfortunately, this is an age-old system, and only few people are involved, and they cannot afford the cost of expert services, because if you appoint various experts in the field of distribution, like marketing staff, sales staff, advisors, planners, everyone, they may charge heavy amount, so you may not be in a position to pay their salaries. So you try to carry on your business with ordinary knowledge. So that is the reason sometimes you may struggle to be successful in the market. And the third disadvantage is they lack storage facility. Means mail order retail business people, or say mail order retail traders, are not having the capacity to store goods. So simply they depend on other distributors or the producers. So simply they are bothered about collecting the orders from the customers and directly dispatching goods from the godown of the producer to the customer. So mail order retail traders may not have the storage facility. The last one, e-commerce overtook the mail order retail business. This is what I tell every time in your class. As the time passes on, the economy, or say the market conditions, will be transformed. मतलब दुनिया बदलते रहता. So if you don't change yourselves, if you don't perceive the market, if you don't understand the present trend, you will struggle to survive. So what happened is, mail order retail trade was okay. Ordinarily they were carrying the business. But in the recent times, you see, due to the development of internet and nowadays development of these smartphones, e-commerce, means electronic commerce, where consumer has got the access to various producers. Okay, so we have got websites. That means display of the product and retail business units on screen. So the price, features, everything is explained on the website. So naturally now customers are not having interest in mail order retail business. They go for Flipkart or various Amazon, various websites which are available on internet. So directly they can order from that. So that is all development of e-commerce, electronic commerce. So electronic commerce has damaged the business of mail order business. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of mail order retail trade. Now let us go to consumer cooperative stores. What are consumer cooperative stores? What is a cooperative society? Already we have discussed in first year commerce. Cooperative stores or cooperative society is a voluntary association of members in which they combine their capital and they try to avoid the middlemen, that is the wholesalers or retailers. They approach manufacturer or producer directly to avoid the overprice. Okay, many times I have given you various examples. For example, in this commerce class, say 100 students are there. MEC, CEC second year we have got 100 students. So 100 into 5, 500 books we require. Okay, each student requires 5 books. So 100 students require 500 books of intermediate second year. So now what happens? If each student is purchasing this book in a locally available retail textbook store, the shopkeeper may not be giving any discount. He may be charging, if the cost is 100 rupees means he may be charging 100 rupees only. Or at most he may be giving 5% discount. He will not give 20 or 30% discount. Whereas the Telugu Academy or the publisher may be giving you 30% discount. But a single student cannot go to publisher. For 5 books he cannot go to that publisher. But for 500 books, if all the students combine the capital, 1 or 2 students can go directly to the publisher and can get the textbooks. So you can save a lot of money. That is the principle behind the cooperative stores. One for all and all for one. Already we have learnt all these things. Voluntary association of members. It is not forced by anyone. We people, in order to eliminate the middleman, in order to save our money, in order to buy the goods at cheaper rates from the producer directly, so we have combined our efforts. So we have to register it. For cooperative societies, registration is compulsory. So once you register, you can get goods. So here, consumer cooperative stores, what is the specialty in that? We buy all the consumable goods like rice, food grains, dals, edible oils, etc. Where, suppose if you go to nearest your provisional store or kirana store, rice may be 40 rupees kg. If you go to rice mill, it is only 30 rupees kg. 10 rupees difference is there. That means per quintal you can save 1000 rupees. 10 quintals you can save 10,000 rupees. But a single family cannot buy 10 quintals. A single family for 1 quintal cannot go to rice mill, or he may not give that. So what we can do? So the members, the families of the locality, families of that colony, families of that village can combine themselves. So collect the order, become the members, and you say, you register yourselves as a cooperative stores. You will have a number. So on that you place the order directly to the rice miller that so and so some XYZ co-op, consumer cooperative stores of Charminar requires 20 quintals of rice. So directly you can buy from the rice miller. So if you buy 20 quintals, on quintal at least if you save 500 rupees, 20 into 500 you can save 10,000 rupees. So all the members are benefited or not? So this is the principle behind consumer cooperative stores. It is a very popular and underground working business unit, successful, most successful, and many people in a unorganized manner they have got. Okay, most of the people in apartments, in colonies, they establish such type of stores, but they do it in an unorganized manner. In an organized manner means they have to register and they will display the board. So collect randomly membership from various people. Okay, for example, you take Amul. Amul once was a cooperative society in Gujarat, which is popular in milk products. So today it has become a successful company in selling all the dairy products. So like that, people nowadays it is going on where farmers of a village combine themselves and go to directly a fertilizer wholesale shop or a producer, get the bulk order of fertilizers or pesticides. Like that you can club. But here consumer cooperative stores means where we go for only consumable goods like food grains, edible oils, okay, maybe household goods, where we can avoid middlemen. So here also the advantages are as same as mail order retail business. Like capital required is very less, convenience, operating costs are very less, reasonable price, middlemen are eliminated. The last point only we have to discuss, that is cooperative societies enjoy certain benefits. Last year I told you, by government. Government will not impose any tax on you, like sales tax, income tax will not be there on cooperative stores. So that is the benefit you have got. Disadvantage again same. In cooperative society, all the members are from middle class people. So naturally they cannot contribute more capital. Because it is not a profit oriented organization, members will not get any incentive. So people do not contribute capital. So for cooperative stores, capital is limited. Then same way they lack management skills and they do not have storage facility, right?